Hey guys, what is going on? This is Philly Jim, your host of the most, coming at you guys with another live stream. And I'm with the Philly Fanatic, also known as the Drip God. The Drip God is on the channel. So, you know what? First and foremost, congrats, Philly Fanatic, for reaching to your 1,000 subscribers. You're one of the best rising Philly YouTubers out there. You make great videos. Great content, very enthusiastic, very entertaining. I enjoy watching your videos. A lot of people enjoy watching your videos. So your stuff's really growing. So I just wanted to congratulate you before we start this show, which is going to be pretty interesting. The great Philadelphia 76ers debate, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. How you doing tonight, man? Let me know.
Well, first of all, that means a lot to me, what you just said, man. That really does. I've been putting in a lot of work here. Same for you, man. Congrats to you. You came onto the scene, and
thanks, buddy.
We're both up and coming, man. So, hopefully tonight, if all goes well, maybe we could have some more work together in the future and build something here. So let's get into it.
Right. Trust the process, man. Keep building that house up.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, baby. Tonight, this show is going to be about the two stars on the Philadelphia 76ers. And me and Philly Fanatic, we see things a little differently. We don't really agree about who we think should be the man on the Philadelphia 76ers. So I think Ben Simmons should be the man. And Philly Fanatic thinks Joel should be the man. And I don't really think you're wrong for saying that you think Joel should be the man, but I'm going to make my argument first, and then I'm going to let you have the floor.
Awesome.
So how I feel about it is, I feel like Ben Simmons, when he's on the court and Joel's not on the court, the team plays better. The guys around Ben play better. Ben himself plays better. The team, I feel like it plays hungrier. It plays better. Guys are running. Guys are getting to their spots. It's crazy. And Ben has taken his game to another level this year, in my opinion. He's not statistically, you can look at a stat sheet and say, oh, well, he's averaging 14 points a game. Well, Ben is not the focal point of the offense. Joel is the focal point of the offense. And so far this year, Joel has not really forced himself or enforced himself as that dominating presence that we're used to seeing. He did against Boston after Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal came out and made their comments about him and said, look, you're putting up 22 points a night. That's not good enough. And I think they're absolutely right. And I think that sparked Joel. But I think he just hasn't been that dude that we have needed him to be for a consistent basis. And it's like Charles said, you can be a good player if you want, Joel, because that's what you are right now. But you need to start playing pissed off and be the most dominating player in the league. For some reason, he doesn't seem like he wants to do that from as far as I can see. But I see a different Ben Simmons than I have seen in the last couple years. Not only does he have he has more willingness to shoot. The guy is a complete monster on the defensive side of the ball. He is up there with, I think, with Anthony Davis, those two for Defensive Player of the Year. When we're down, when we have a 2-point lead in a game, let's say we're up by 2, and we need to go close this game out, and they're trying to tie the game, Ben will, if you play around with the basketball in front of him, which is what all these guards try to do to try to be cute and get the crowd to ooh and ah and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
If you play with the basketball in front of Ben, he's going to take that and he's going to go and he's going to slam for 2 and he's going to put the game on ice. So I see a different intensity from Ben Simmons. No, Ben Simmons is not scoring enough, but I think if Brett Brown used more plays that are designed for Ben to be the primary scorer, his numbers would be way up. But with the Sixers, they are not using Ben that way. They're pretty much using Ben as a facilitator. You know what? Get guys involved, get Tobias his touches, get Joel his touches. And back to my original point that I made about how I think the offense just looks better with Ben running the entire team. When Joel is in there, they make it a point, get the ball to Joel, get the ball to Joel. So teams are sending the double teams. And it's causing a lot of turnovers. I mean, against Toronto when they came to Philly, not the game where he had 0 points, but the second meeting, he had a shit ton of turnovers that ended up almost costing us the game. And it's because when you get the ball to Joel, people know it's coming to Joel. So they pretty much sell out to get him to put the ball on the floor so they can get turnovers. But I think the offense is a lot less predictable. It runs a lot more smoothly than it does. Runs a lot more smoothly than it does when it's constantly Joel. And other than that, I just think Ben Simmons does more on a basketball court. He makes his teammates better. I don't think Joel has that ability to elevate his teammates' level of play. He has the ability to dominate that Ben Simmons doesn't have, but Ben Simmons has the ability to make his guys better. That's the way I see it. What are your thoughts?
All right, well, before I really get into why I'm siding with Joel in this argument, I just want to say you brought up a lot of really good points with Ben Simmons. If I were to put a percentage on, let me just say, I can really see both sides of this argument. I'm gonna side with Joel in this one. If I could put a percentage on it, I'm 60% Joel, 40% Ben Simmons, and we're gonna get into that. So we have yet to really see this team really make Ben Simmons the focal point of the team. It's always been Joel, and to be fair, he's put up good numbers doing so. I believe last season, what did he average? 27 points a game, 13 rebounds a game. Mm-hmm. Best big man in the game, all that. He can score in the post. He can shoot the perimeter shot. He draws double teams. He's shown he can pass out of double teams, and then sometimes he looks like a complete disaster passing out of double teams. Does he make his teammates better? Not really as far as a passing standpoint, but I feel like he elevates the guys around him with his play on both ends of the court. As far as making a guy a focal point, if we're looking just at the NBA, honestly, like as a whole in 2019, you got to be if you want to be the focal point of the offense, you got to have, there's certain skills you got to have. And I'm honestly exhausted talking about it. You got to be able to shoot the basketball. I know this is like a lot of you guys are probably so irritated. I'm tired of talking about it. If you want to be the focal point of your team, you got to at least be able to shoot the ball to a certain extent. LeBron James has been the focal point of every single team he has been on. He's not known as a shooter, but he's definitely capable of doing it. Ben Simmons, I love Ben Simmons. I'm not bashing on him. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. He doesn't shoot the ball in the year 2019. And not just that, he's not a good free throw shooter. If you want to be the focal point of your team, say you're not a good shooter, like LeBron James isn't a great shooter. He can shoot from time to time, but what does he do? He gets to the foul line. Ben Simmons is good at drawing fouls, but he doesn't really do it as often. Now, is that on him? Is that on the coach? It could be a combination of both. Maybe making Ben Simmons the focal point of the offense changes that, So that's definitely why I could see your point of the argument, but I can't see. Ben Simmons has to show it to me first. One dominant game against the Cleveland Cavaliers is not going to do it for me. And this isn't really a tough argument because I love both star players. I wouldn't mind making either the focal point of this team if we're talking from the offensive standpoint. Joel Embiid's the more complete player at this point. He's older than Ben Simmons. He's been in the NBA longer. Joel's probably the better player right now, but Ben Simmons has a much higher ceiling. We have yet to see the best version of Ben Simmons, and I'm not completely writing off making Ben Simmons the focal point of the team at some point, because honestly, if this team wants to be not just a contender, but a contender for years to come, he's going to have to be the focal point, To me, we're arguing who should be the focal point right now. It's got to be Joel right now, just for those reasons I said. They both have weaknesses. Like, listen, Ben Simmons, To me, his two biggest weaknesses are his aggression and lack of shooting. Joel's biggest weaknesses are his, I guess we should say, there's a couple, honestly. His carelessness with the ball and maybe conditioning. If he was better conditioned, he'd fit this team better. It seems like Brett Brown, this team plays better when Ben Simmons is getting up and down the court. He's attacking the basket, hitting open shooters. So you definitely bring up a good point there. Yeah. Ben Simmons is clearly, without a doubt, a better playmaker. He's one of the best playmakers in the league. I mean, if I was an NBA player, he was the guy. He would be the guy I want to play with. He's going to get me the ball where I want it, But there's no doubting Joel Embiid. When he's focused, you saw what he did to Boston the other night. He I'm not going to say single-handedly carried us to that win, but he dominated. You know what I mean? It was a favorable matchup.
Yeah,
finally, Boston no longer has really an answer for him. Al Horford was the answer for him. And I mean, what's Daniel Tice and, their other big man going to do to slow him down? So I'm going to side with Joel for now, but you know what? It's still a long season. Ben Simmons, if he continues to show growth from just an aggression standpoint, because when he I think he should be Defensive Player of the Year. I'm just going to say that right now. His defense has been amazing this year. I think he's made more strides there than anything else. But when he really wants it on offense, he's a pretty dangerous player too. If I see more aggression and more shooting, who knows? He could be the focal point of the team come the end of the season. I'm not writing it off completely. Just not yet. I got to see some things first.
I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you on a couple things that you said. So far this year, I think Ben Simmons has been more aggressive than Joel Embiid. I don't think Joel Embiid has played all season up until the Boston game. I don't think he had played to the dominant standards that we have seen him do for the last 2 years. He has not looked like Joel Embiid until then. So you can't be Joel Embiid and be the best player on the team, and we go where Joel goes because he is the best player. You can't just rely on talking heads like Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, or anyone else to make comments about Joel Embiid to get him to dominate. No, he is getting paid a lot of money. He's already has his max contract. So does Ben Simmons. He has to go out there and impose his will every single night. And if he doesn't, then we're not going to win the championship. And if he doesn't, we may not make it out of the East. You see it. It's totally different with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a great player. He's a dominating player. So is Joel Embiid. But Giannis has a better work ethic than Joel does. So if Joel could just put it in his mindset that he is unstoppable and no one can stop him, then it's going to be hard to beat us. But as far as what I've seen, the effort on defense, the effort on offense, getting guys open shots, pushing the ball down the floor. When he gets a chance to get out and run, I think Ben is one of the most unstoppable players in the league. And he's just been more aggressive. So it's not really me saying that he's better than Joel, but I think he's been more aggressive. And I think the team's just flat out played better with Brett Brown's rotations. When he gets Ben out there and he's got James Ennis, and he's got Mike Scott out there, Furkan Korkmaz. Ben is making these guys better. Joel doesn't have that ability, and I don't think he ever will. I think Joel has shown us what his ceiling is, that he can be the most unstoppable player in the league, but does he want to be the most unstoppable player in the league? The answer to that right now, I think, is no. Because if he did want that, then he would be that, and he's not. So that's where I stand. That's my main issue with Joel Embiid, and he's too good for him to not go out there and be that dominating presence on the floor. So if we want to win a championship, we can. I don't think there's any reason why the Sixers can't win this year with even the guys we have. forget if we add another player at the deadline, which we probably will. Elton Brand will probably make an aggressive move. But if Joel does not become more aggressive, we will be the same exact team. And sooner or later, if this keeps happening with, well, Joel's not going to be aggressive, Ben's not going to be aggressive because the team wants Joel to be the guy, we're not going to win. We're just not – it's just not going to happen. So one or two things needs to happen.
All right. Well, you know what? Let me ask you something, because this is something we all need to decide as 76ers fan. I already know where I stand on this. Honestly, it sounds like we're really debating who's going to be the focal point of this offense and this team in the regular season. To me, it's been clear all along. We went out in the offseason to sign Al Horford so Joel Embiid could coast in the regular season. I know a lot of people don't like that word. I know a lot of boomers don't like that word.
Load management.
Load management. But look, we need a 100% healthy Joel Embiid come postseason more than anything on this team. You can say what you want about Ben Simmons. Joel is everything with this team. We need him 100%. So he's not going to be giving his full effort every single game. And honestly, you can say what you want about what Chuck and Shaq said about him the other night. It clearly brought the best out of him. But you know what? If Joel's constantly going out here every single night, giving his best effort in the regular season, it's going to lead to injuries. He's going to be worn down. We've seen it happen in the past. His first season, his second season in the league, he was going all out in the regular season, and he was toast come postseason. You know, Ben Simmons is just a different athlete. He can go out. He can go all out every single night. That's just the type of athlete he is, you know? So you got to decide, what are we really debating here? Are we debating who the focal point of the team is in the regular season or the postseason? You know what I mean? Two completely different brands of basketball. And then at the same time,
it's going to be the same come playoffs. They're not going to like make a point for Joel to be the guy all season long and go to the playoffs and say, oh, we don't need you, Joel. It's gonna be the same thing. So whether it's the playoffs or whether it's the regular season, if this dude is not giving his full effort to go out and dominate every single night, number one, it's gonna cost us in the playoffs because we're a different team on the road. Beating Boston on the road was the first time we actually looked good on the road. We have looked bad on the road, and if we don't have home court. Are we even sure that?
No, we look bad. Sorry to interrupt. We look bad. I didn't watch the game, by the way, yesterday. I was catching up on an Amazon Prime show. Joel Embiid didn't play. What happened? We got destroyed on the road. What's your opinions on that one regular season game? That means that. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't mean a whole lot.
To be honest, if you want to know my honest opinion, I think it was a veteran move by the Philadelphia 76ers to go out on a Sunday evening after an emotional victory by the Philadelphia Eagles, so people wouldn't actually notice that much that they got their asses whooped. But you know what? It's an 82-game season. Shit happens. Mm-hmm. But I think I've seen enough through this first 20-something games that even whether Joel is resting or he's playing, when you take Ben out of the game and Joel's in there and they're telling Joel to dominate. When Ben is on the bench getting his rest, that's when Joel has to step his game up. And when Joel goes to rest and Ben is running the team just plays better. They look better. That's been my point the entire time. But of course, there's going to be shitty games like that happen. It's just part of life. But you know what? As far as getting rid of them, you don't just get rid of a player like Joel Embiid. He's Joel Embiid. You don't just get rid of a player like Ben Simmons. It would be dumb to get rid of either one of them. But I think the team has definitely showed me they play better when it's Ben's team. But it is what it is. This team has the talent, I think, to win the championship. But they need Joel to be more aggressive. They need Ben to be aggressive, or we'll lose in the second round again, and this season will be all for naught. So that's all I got to say. We got a lot of people in the comment section that are asking stuff.
Oh, give me a second.
We got Victor Williams. We got Jeff Allen.
Just not catching up.
I guess these are all your friends, but they were asking us about the Eagles. So
oh wow,
we're gonna give the people what they want. So the Philadelphia Eagles,
the people's champion.
26 seconds left on the clock. Carson Wentz finds Greg Ward Jr., Mr. Nobody, Mr. Practice Squad, was a quarterback at the University of Houston. Jumps over Josh Norman, game-winning touchdown. Eagles are 7-7. Going into this game against Dallas.
Whoa, Carson Wentz is a fraud.
Carson Wentz is a fraud at being a fraud.
You see what this guy's saying?
He is clutch. But anyway, I want to know what you've seen from Carson the last 2 weeks, the lack of talent he's had around him. Do you think he's proven that he's worth the big money?
Without a doubt, without a hesitation, yes. Carson Wentz has answered the bell. You give me any other quarterback in this league who has had their 3, look, 1, 2, 3 top weapons gone. All right. Yep. No Alshon Jeffrey, no Deshaun Jackson. No Nelson Aguilar. Don't get me started on him.
Why not get you started on him? Why do you have such a problem with Nelson Aguilar? I would like to know.
Let's just continue on here. All right. So any other team, you take their top 3 weapons out.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who they're playing. It could be the 3-10 Washington Redskins. It could be the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
That is a legitimate excuse, and most, if not all, quarterbacks would stand no chance. And what did Carson Wentz do when all the pressure in the world was on him? He delivered when his team needed him most in the clutch in back-to-back weeks with all the pressure on the line to practice squad players. To me, it doesn't get any better than that. He absolutely proved he's our franchise quarterback, and he deserves every penny on that contract. Carson Wentz is not a fraud, Harrison Grimm.
Yep, I have to agree with you, man. Carson Wentz has been balling out, especially last 2 games. Hasn't had a lot of help around him. But don't get it twisted. Carson Wentz has played bad this year. He has had bad games, and he could have played better at certain times, and he could have made throws at certain times. But when it mattered the most, these last 2 games, he rose to the occasion. He's got another chance. This game against Dallas is basically like a playoff game, and it's gonna be a banger. So hopefully he keeps up what he's doing. These young guys like Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, Greg Ward, all these guys rise up to the occasion in this huge game against Dallas and really put their stamp on the NFL. Show they can really be players out there. And hopefully we get the NFC East.
This dude's capping in the comments. I never said that.
So we got someone asking if they could suggest another topic.
What do you guys think this is? ESPN First Take? I mean, come on. We're doing this for free.
We'll give you guys we will give you guys a chance to suggest one more topic, and we're going to shut it down after that. So go ahead and say what you want to say.
So I see 2 for what do you got? What do you guys mean debate Kobe Bryant? That's not brought. What do you want us to debate? I don't understand.
Me neither. So I'm just gonna keep saying what I've been saying about Stephen Conrad Jr., aka the Philly Fanatic. This guy has taken a huge step since he started YouTube. I remember when he first started YouTube. Matter of fact,
look at this.
I saw him in the comment section on Philly 500's video. He said, "Hey, I'm a new YouTuber. Please check out the channel." And I checked it out, and I've been hooked on it ever since, man. You make great videos, entertaining videos, amazing videos. You're doing all the right things as a YouTuber, man, and you're up and comer. I'm proud of what I've seen you do, where you started, where you are now. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm dead serious. So, yeah, you're the man.
Dang, I appreciate you, man. You're going to make me cry over here, dude. That's some of the nicest stuff I ever heard.
Well, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. I only got one suggestion.
So, oh, man, it's totally up to you. So I'm seeing – I knew this was going to happen. Kobe versus Harden.
What is the topic that they want?
What you got? Be a little more specific beyond Kobe versus Harden. Who the better player is? Who would you rather take?
Okay, like who's the better scorer or who's the better player?
They're being too specific. Who the better offensive player is? That's pretty obvious to me. But who the better overall player is?
The better overall player is Kobe Bryant, but as far as scoring, James Harden is a way better scorer than Kobe Bryant. It's not even close. James Harden can get to the free throw line like it's nothing, and he can dance on anyone. Kobe could hit tough shots and all of that. He was basically he was a carbon copy of Jordan, but he's definitely better overall, and he's a better winner, and he's a lot more clutch than James Harden will ever be. But
in this Harrison,
as far as just scoring, James Harden is a way better scorer.
Regular season or postseason score?
No, just scoring. It doesn't matter. Like James Harden can score better than Kobe Bryant because
Shaq carried Kobe.
He can do whatever.
I don't know about that one.
But yeah, I mean, Shaq didn't. I wouldn't like. I know people
carry's not the right word, guys.
Shaq carried him. I think they both needed each other
exactly
to win titles.
But are we going to say if the Sixers win a title, let's say Joel Embiid carries this team to the championship and they win and he wins finals MVP and Simmons, plays great defense and averages, let's say 14 points a game and Joel averages like 28. Does that mean Joel Embiid carried Ben Simmons?
No,
that's not the right word.
Because if you take Ben off the team, then we wouldn't be there in the first place.
Exactly.
But I understand why people say that he did that because Kobe actually dominated. I mean, Shaq actually is probably the most dominating player ever. So he kind of did win the first 3 titles for him, but I do think that they needed Kobe, or they definitely wouldn't have won the championships. Plus, later on in his career, Kobe actually did win more titles. He won back-to-back titles. I think he went to 3 straight finals, 2008, 2009, 2010. Boston 08 to Boston, back-to-back against Orlando, and the rematch against Boston in 2010. So he did win 2 finals MVP. So at least he's not like Steph Curry, who has never won a finals MVP.
Oh, dang.
Iggy was the finals MVP of the first finals, which wouldn't have even been close, would not have been close if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love didn't get hurt. In fact, I think the Cavs win that series in 5 if Kyrie and Love stayed healthy with the way LeBron was playing in that series. Second of all, Kevin Durant, if you want to see somebody that carried somebody, Kevin Durant is the one who carried Steph Curry to a few, however many titles he won, two or three titles. He literally couldn't beat LeBron with a 73-9 team. So Draymond Green calls KD in the parking lot and he's crying. All right. And he gets Kevin Durant to go there and he carries him. And when Kevin Durant got hurt, this team started to stink. And when he came back, even though he played a few minutes, he put the fear of God into Kawhi Leonard and the entire Toronto Raptors team. You could see it in their eyes. He was hitting everything, and then freak accident happens.
That was bullshit. We got robbed of a good finals. And you know what? That's why that Kawhi shot hurts even more. If we beat that Raptors team, who knows? If the Sixers face
we probably won the title.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But we can talk if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, then our hungers would be satisfied. I don't know about you, but I like nuts. So, I don't know how much you like nuts, but I definitely like me some nuts.
Whoa,
So,
I'm missing your drift here, I think. What are we talking about?
but anyway, back to what I was saying. We're talking ifs and buts and nuts. We want to. This team didn't get it done. They need to get it done this year. That's all I got to say, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the stream. All of Steven's friends. You guys are the best in the world. Steven,
subscribe to him, man. You guys are subbed to me. Give this guy some love for me.
Yeah, hit up the channel. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Subscribe to Steven. Subscribe to the Philly Fanatic. Great video maker. He does his thing. I think he's one of the best in the business. I think he's very underrated. I think he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He is awesome at making video. I mean, you're one of my favorite guys to watch, if I'm being totally honest.
Wow, man. That means a lot to me. Jeez, I had no idea.
I really think you're up there with the best. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. So anyway, guys, love you guys as always. Great debate. The Great Sixers debate has concluded. Thanks for tuning into the show. You guys are amazing. Philly Fanatic, if you don't got anything else to say, you're going to shut it down.
No, I just appreciate all you guys stopping by, and maybe we can do this again. Leave some feedback. I'm not sure if the comments will still be on here, but you can reach out to us on Twitter as well, man. So let's see what happens. All right.
But yeah. I will see you guys next time. So let's kick some Cowboy ass this week.
Oh, yeah.
Division title, and yeah, I'm out, baby.
Peace.